The Mueller investigation could be heating up, CNN fires Marc Lamont Hill for anti-Semitic comments, and Obama tries to take credit for every good thing in America. Coming up on Today with 2 Cents. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Today with 2 Cents, wrapping up your weekly news. I'll be honest, I struggled to find news that I actually wanted to talk about this week. It's not that nothing happened, it was just all so stupid. Anyways, this week everyone's talking about the Mueller investigation, and the apparent deal that's been reached with Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen. This time, yes, this time we're assured that Trump is finally on the ropes. Any day now, the proof of his misdeeds will be uncovered, and surely he will be impeached.
Well, from what we learned this week, what do we know about what the Mueller team is doing?
Well, so this week, we've learned that the special counsel is looking at the extent to which the president's business empire was entangled with his political ambitions in the 2016 campaign. And look, the president is right to an extent. There's nothing illegal about preliminary discussions about a business deal. But the question is, if they weren't doing anything wrong, why did Michael Cohen lie about this deal? And also, why was an aspiring U.S. president trying to do business with one of our biggest adversaries?
As I've said before, I am 100% certain that Donald Trump has committed illegal actions of some kind prior to his candidacy, during his candidacy, and while the president. How do I know? Because what politician hasn't? It's not a matter of if politicians break the law, it's a matter of which ones get prosecuted based on whether or not they are useful to the powerfully placed individuals who really set public policy. That's why the Mueller investigation is such a farce. I mean, did the Russians meddle in the US election? Of course. And so did every country on earth that is in one way or another vested in what happens in the US politically. Every major media outlet meddled in the election in that they attempted to sway the outcome by carefully spinning certain news stories while ignoring others, or sometimes outright publishing news stories they knew to be false. Now that the House of Representatives is Democrat-controlled, it's pretty much a given that there will be impeachment proceedings of some kind, no matter what Mueller ultimately comes up with. But whether Trump stays in office or not, this whole investigation proves that the Russians are winning. Whether or not it's true, a large segment of the American population believes that Putin has the power to change the outcome of American elections, and that is a psychological victory that I have no doubt makes Putin very happy.
Pretty quick, huh? Well, how about this? Here comes the haymaker! You had enough?
There you go.
The next widely discussed news story of this week comes to us from the Communist News Network, and its firing of Marc Lamont Hill after a speech he delivered before the United Nations. Speaking out against Israel and in favor of the Palestinians, he used a phrase common to Hamas and other terrorist groups that is well known to communicate a desire for the destruction of Israel and the extermination of the Jews.
To commit to political action, grassroots action, local action, and international action that will give us what justice requires. And that is a free Palestine from the river to the sea. Thank you for your time.
Let me first say that I support the right of CNN to fire and hire whoever they like. At the same time, I support freedom of speech and think that Marc Lamont Hill has the right to say that Israel as a sovereign country should not exist if that's what he really believes. I don't believe that it is ever appropriate to advocate that force be used to exterminate an entire group of people, which is, as many commentators have noted, what terrorist groups mean when they use the phrase, "From the river to the sea, Palestine shall be free." And given Marc Lamont Hill's use of that phrase, there's not a doubt that he knows where it comes from. However, what frustrates me in this discussion, and any other discussion about Israel or the Jewish question, is the complete lack of honesty on the part of people on both sides of the issue. On one hand, Zionists tend to overlook any and all criticism of Israel, believing it's just propaganda by the anti-Semitic media. Anti-Semites, on the other hand, dismiss any and all comments in favor of Israel or Jewish individuals, claiming it's all just propaganda from the same media, who is not in fact anti-Semitic, but controlled by the secret Zionist overlords. And for those who say they aren't anti-Semites but just anti-Zionist, I've found that 99% of the time, a minimal amount of prodding reveals that they are in fact just anti-Semitic. Here's my stance on the issue. I have numerous criticisms of the state of Israel. I'm an ANCAP after all, and have criticisms of every government in existence. At the same time, groups like Hamas are terrorists who wish to exterminate any and all Jews solely for being Jews, and as such deserve no seat at the table of rational discussion. I am, of course, referring to terrorist groups like Hamas, not just Palestinian people in general. And for all of those of you in the comments section who will undoubtedly chime in and claim that I'm some sort of Zionist shill or anti-Semitic shill who doesn't know what I'm talking about, let me ask you this. Is there any piece of evidence that would change your mind about your support or opposition of Israel respectively? And if not, you might want to reconsider how exactly you're so capable of objectively speaking about the issue.
What was our Aramaic line again?
Wir müssen die Juden ausrotten!
Wir müssen die Juden ausrotten!
Es ist Zeit für Reich!
Wir müssen die Juden ausrotten!
Oh, this is fun!
Remember President Obama? Of course you do, because he won't go away. In addition to making absurd claims such as his administration was scandal-free, Obama is traveling around trying to take credit for everything good that's currently happening in America, including the oil production boom.
I know we're an oil country, and we need American energy, and by the way, American energy production. It went up every year I was president, and you know that whole suddenly America's like the biggest oil producer and the biggest that was me, people. I just want you to.
You know, I remember something from when Obama was in office. Every time something bad happened, we were told it was a residual effect from the Bush administration. Every time something good happened, we were told it was 100% Obama. Smart people know that the president doesn't really have jack to do with economic performance anyways, since it's the independent folks at the Fed who set the discount rate and determine the monetary policy that booms and crashes the economy at their whims. But setting that aside, Obama, please just shut up and retire peacefully. Just about every president before you has done the nation that courtesy, and no one is buying your BS except the hardcore liberals who already believe anything you say just because it came out of your mouth.
He passed a major stimulus for the bourgeois that said he'd have the deficit. Ha ha! Stop unemployment, money dives, fix healthcare in his spare time. He's Barack Obama. He's come to save the day.
That was a shorter number of news stories this week, I know, but I don't have the brain power to handle any more nonsense, so let's just move on to the weekly hottie. Drumroll, please. This week's weekly hottie is Daisy Keech. She did a loungewear try-on a few weeks back that I just couldn't resist but give her a shout-out for.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Daisy. Today I have a lounge underwear haul for you guys. If you guys can see right there, it's just, it will cover part of your butt but still leave some hanging out, you know? So cute. It's like the perfect like pink. I would match this with like a white or a black top. You could even do red if it was like Valentine's Day. So it has a cheeky fit on the back. And I love like this design top. And the back look like this. So it goes from like a cheap. I'm so grateful to have gotten this because this color is amazing. It literally like not vampire or something. I love this. It's like a vampire blood red. And it's that same satiny material.
And that's it for this week. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all other social media. Check out my2centsvideos.com, leave a review on iTunes, and if you're able, consider supporting the channel on Patreon. And that is my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. Before I go, Just a quick reminder to everyone about Christmas merch in the My 2 Cents Teespring store. This t-shirt will only be available until December 31st, so be sure to get yours now.